Jackson is, who Elvis Presley was, and maybe, just maybe, you know the Beatles. Maybe. But what you don't know about them is the man behind them, the man that helped them become this presence on stage. So I want to introduce to you a man named Manuel Cuevas. That's him. He's actually still alive today. Manuel is from Mexico. He came to the United States. Well, he started off in Mexico as a young tailor and grew his name in his little town. He graduated from the University of Guadalajara, and one day, after graduating, he was walking around town and he came upon this store, this dress shop. And all the dresses inside the shop were so bland. They were all the same design, all the same fabric, and there was nothing unique about them. And that's where he vowed to always be original and never repeat the same design. So in 1951, he came to Los Angeles, California, and unlike other Mexicans or other Latin American people in the United States at that time, he actually came legally and with money in his pockets. He jumped around from tailor shop to tailor shop while in Los Angeles, and he made many suits for many people and many dresses for many women. But one day, he made a suit for one man. He didn't know who the man was. He just knew that he was going to come on this date, try on his suit, and take it home. When the man came, he tried on the suit. He absolutely loved it, and he gave Manuel a $1,000 tip. That was the first time Manuel had ever been paid for anything that he's created. He went on with his day, he kept working, and finally told him that the man was Frank Sinatra. He didn't know who Frank Sinatra was. He had never heard of his music or his name. After jumping from tailor shop to tailor shop, he met Nudie Cohn. Nudie Cohn is also a tailor. He made absurd, bedazzled suits, and eventually became Nudie's partner. After becoming partners with Nudie, he created his own shop, and that's where his name started growing in Hollywood. He made his 40 years he had a 40-year career in Los Angeles. He was contacted by Michael Jackson's people to create a special glove for him. He said, well, okay, it's just a glove, but he almost died of a heart attack because he had to make 5 different colors of the same glove when he vowed that he'd never repeat the same design. That glove became Michael Jackson's presence on stage. You never saw him without it doing the moonwalk. He also worked with the Beatles, Sgt. Pepper's, the Sgt. Pepper's album. The Beatles, that became the Beatles, the album, the changing era of music. And the suits, he made the suits that they wore were all because of the Day of the Dead mantle he had in his house. And you can see the different colors, the yellows, the pinks, the blues, the oranges. He also worked with Elvis Presley. He asked to see Elvis perform on stage, and he was like, this man just moves his hips everywhere, he needs space. So he made him an overall. They were skeptical about it at first. They were like, it's an overall, he's not going to go to work, he's going to sing on stage. But then Elvis put it on, performed, and he loved it. He said he wasn't going to wear anything else for the rest of his career, only an overall. And Raquel Welch, she was actually someone I didn't know before, and nobody had ever done this before, but he used the American flag in his design. No one had ever done it, and he said, well, I'll be the first. And then he did James Dean's iconic jeans. He would go save all these women in a plain white t-shirt, belt, and jeans, and some cowboy boots. And then the proudest moment of all for Manuel was making the Lone Ranger's mask. The Lone Ranger was his hero growing up, and being able to do something for him was his proudest moment of all. Now, all these people are just not even a third, not even half of the people that Manuel worked with. So why do I tell you this? Manuel is one of the many hardworking, talented people that live in Mexico and other Latin American countries that want to come to America for the American dreams. So, why should we close our borders to such hardworking, talented people? So humble, to their roots. So.
All right, Arlene, really original approach. This is not a person whose name I've heard before, and clearly someone that we probably should know about, since we can see evidence of this guy's work in all the pop culture that we, well, most of us probably have a Michael Jackson album, most of us probably have a Beatles album. So I really appreciate the original track you took in bringing to our attention someone whose story we should know based on contribution to pop culture. I really was impressed at the level of detail that went into your slideshow and what the tools you were using to make this speech entertaining: direct quotations, vivid examples, specific examples, and throughout the speech you're using your visual aids to draw emphasis to those examples. And one of the things that I said a while back is that we shouldn't use collages on slides. We shouldn't have more than one image. But folks, if you'll notice what Arlene did, if you go back to that Beatles slide, please. Okay, and hit your back button. Okay, Arlene, you're using a progressive build. And you're starting off with the familiar image of the Beatles, but then you're adding one very specific thing to it, which is the